fancy on old Delancey Street, you know. The subway charms us so when balmy breezes blow to and fro. It's very fancy on old Delancey Street, you know. Sweet push cars from a song laying by. The great big city's a wondrous toy, just made for a girl and boy. Let's turn Manhattan into an Isle of Joy. Let's turn Manhattan. Let's turn Manhattan.
I'm back again. Yeah, you thought you were done with me, huh? It wasn't so easy. Please be seated, those of you who are actually standing. And thank you to our CCNY students, Kyra, Kai, and Lucas, for sharing their musical gifts. I now welcome our Dean Carmen to the podium to begin the ceremony.
Good afternoon, good people. Despite a little bit of rain showers, it is a glorious day. Yeah. And we at the CUNY School of Medicine, the home of healers, leaders, and scholars, welcome you to this venue. We begin all CUNY Medicine's signature events with a collective moment of silence. We reflect on our own intentions. I also hope you will join me and the entire One CUNY Medicine family in our common vision of peace and the elimination of health inequities and healthcare disparities in our time. Thank you. We continue with our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge we are within a place of gathering and exchange, shaped by water and stewarded by ongoing generations of indigenous peoples. We acknowledge the land upon which we gather as part of the traditional territory and the unceded ancestral lands of the Lenape people. The Lenape people lived in harmony with one another upon this territory for thousands of years. During the colonial era and early federal period, many were removed west and north. But some also remain among the continuing historical tribal communities of the region. These people live in Delaware, New Jersey, and New York. They and many other tribes call this place home for more than 10,000 years and sustain this land so that we can enjoy her gifts today. We recognize both our responsibilities to care for this land for the many generations to come. Thank you. So, I am Dr. Carmen Renee Green, and I have the honor of being the Dean of the most important, inclusive, and diverse medical school in the country. With a focus on equity, access, inclusive excellence, and community, the CUNY School of Medicine is New York City's medical school. Why do we say that? The majority of our students are New Yorkers. The majority of our students will stay in New York. They are bilingual and even multilingual. We proudly reflect the linguistic, cultural, and racial ethnic diversity of this city. I am now proud to ask a few candidates for the MD degree to come forward and welcome you to their MD graduation ceremony in this historic Riversdale Church in their native tongue. Dean Macbeth.
Bengali.
Shagatam. Burmese, Mingalaba.
Mandarin Chinese, 欢迎大家。
Haitian Creole and French. Bienvenue.
فارسی خوش آمدی.
Greek. Καλώς ορίσατε.
Gujarati, Avo Padaro.
हिंदी नमस्कार आपका स्वागत है
Sinhala, Iborn.
Telugu, Swagatam.
Kannada, Suswagata.
Malayalam, Swagatam.
Tamil Vanakkam.
Swahili, Karibuni.
There is a genocide occurring in Gaza. Free Palestine, inshallah.
Tagalog, Magandang Hapon.
Asante Akan. Anuanom ne adɔfonom, gyina Yesu Kristo din so ɛma mo nyinaa akɔ aba.
Spanish. Bienvenidos.
So thank you. These are musicians from City College of New York. Please be seated. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the CUNY School of Medicine, I'm honored to welcome you in the MD graduating class of 2024 to our commencement ceremony. We are thrilled to have you here today to recognize your many individual and collective accomplishments. We also celebrate the diversity and the mosaic that is you. Graduates, please note that this day could not have happened without your family, friends, supporters, and some ancestors who believed in you and us. Parents and families, thank you for entrusting us with your sons' and daughters' education. You gave them to us, and today we will give them back to you as doctors, and the doctors that New Yorkers want to see. Alumni, please see CUNY Med's next generation of healers, leaders, and scholars. Graduates, I'd like for you to stand and acknowledge your families and supporters. Please be seated. Allow me to introduce some of the amazing people who have been responsible in many ways for your education. First of all, starting with many people in the Dean's Platform Party and in the audience, my senior leadership team. Will you please stand? Our faculty and staff, please stand. And our alumni doctors, the New Yorkers want to see and continue to see. Please stand. I want to say a few thank yous before I forget, and that is to the Gray Foundation, who have been so generous to our students day in and day out, whether it be coffee or stethoscopes. We thank you, we honor you. I'm also honored to have in our midst our keynote speaker, Dr. Palasio Perez Stable, the director of the National Institute on Minority Health and Health Disparities at the National Institutes of Health. I also welcome Dr. Erminia Palasio, a distinguished member of the City University of New York Board of Trustees and a physician. Paloma Izquierda Hernandez, President and CEO of the Urban Institute for Family Health. Dr. Neil Common, President and CEO of the Institute for Family Health. And Dr. Marina Freimer, President of our strong and growing Alumni Association. I thank you for always being there for our students and to cheer them on. I'm now pleased to introduce Trustee Herminio Palasio, who brings greetings from the City University of New York Board of Trustees. Dr. Palasio is an illustrious healthcare leader. Before we even knew that there was a disease called AIDS, she was taking care of our most vulnerable people who were stricken for 15 years at San Francisco General Hospital. She was also New York City's Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services. She's the was President and CEO of the Guttmacher Institute and the Executive Director of the Harris County Public Health and Environmental Services, where she oversaw Hurricane Katrina's mega shelter operation in 2005. Please welcome Dr. Herminio Palasio.
Good afternoon, and honoring the lovely tradition of this morning, buenas tardes a todos. I bring you greetings, congratulations, and I dare say joy on behalf of the City University of New York Board of Trustees. Dean Green, esteemed awardees, alumni, faculty, staff, we come here together to celebrate these graduates, and lastly mentioned, but certainly not least, families, loved ones, friends. Congratulations. For before you, you will see your graduates in a few short minutes earn the honorific, the lifelong commitment, the incredible privilege of being called doctor.
Thank you very much. Now, we are also thrilled to have you as part of our family. Don't be a stranger. Let me be clear. Did you hear me? Yeah, well, it's not often I get to really irritate a trustee member, so let me begin. We hope to see you back again, soon and often. So, a few remarks to our candidates. And these remarks are really for our students. Very soon you'll begin your internships, and Harris Hall will be in your rearview mirror. I thought now's the time to share with you some of my recollections from my time and my training. As a medical student, there was always someone to run to who was smarter than you, your intern, your resident, and oh my goodness, the fellow. They were kind of close to the greater power. We'd hang on their every single word. In July, you will transition. You will have medical students, and they will run to you. They will hang on your every word and look forward to pleasing you. You will be their amazing intern. I remember starting my call in a place not as glorious as this, but in the chapel, the hospital chapel. All my calls, and I really prayed that I would know enough and that I wouldn't hurt anybody. Since then, and throughout my training, I've learned that the most deadly thing that we can do as a physician to our patients is to fail to see their humanity, kill their spirit, and by doing so, creating a group of people who become the walking wounded. You have learned how to do a physical exam on your neighbors and are called and trained to do more. You're called to see the neighbor, and by doing so, taking care of the neighbor, making your neighborhood and your communities healthier. When I was in medical school, we didn't talk about health disparities or the social determinants of health or the social determinants of medical education. We just accepted that Black and brown people died before their time and that it was okay to have less of them in medical school. Deans of medical schools or NIH directors were rarely Black or brown or women. Yet today, your zip code still remains more important than your genotype And your phenotype and gender determines not just the quality of your life, but the length of your life. Even in one of the most natural things in the world, and that is giving birth. My friends, there's something very wrong in a world where Black maternal mortality rate is 3 times that for white women, regardless of their socioeconomic class, that their class is not protective. My friends, there is something wrong, very wrong, and I'm encouraging you to never accept this as the normal, as the status quo. I'm asking you to commit to doing something about it in some small way. Do we have any grandparents here today? Can you stand up? So, graduates, you look at them. These are the people who bet on you before you were born. They knew that you'd be the difference, and you're the difference that we've all been waiting for. And because they believe in you, I'm asking you to believe in yourself. And in those moments of doubt where your knees start getting a little wobbly and your heart races too fast, I want you to look at these people, think of these people, and those ancestors who's come before you as your superpower. They believed in you, they always will, and I want you to remember this moment. I also want you to consistently advocate for the other. The other. Remember, at CUNY Med, we are called to care for the marginalized, the vulnerable, the underserved. But also recognize that medicine has a way of socializing us not to see them, not to see the other. When you walk past the migrant, the asylum seeker, walking in the cold of the night with their child with no place to go, make certain you see that child. Look them in the eyes and see that light. Why, Dean? You have the power to be their why. That child in 15, 20 years could be you, be just like you sitting in these rows. Our next generation of healers, leaders, and scholars. You can be their why. But you can only be their why if you're willing to be stoppable, if you're willing to see them. So I thank you for being my New York City why. So if others had addressed educational inequities and healthcare disparities, there'd be no reason for this school to exist. I remind you that this little school does really big and amazing things. We have successfully addressed educational inequities, and we've committed to eliminating healthcare disparities in our time. Not all of them, but we got to start somewhere. And that, my friends, is the CUNY School of Medicine difference. Doctors who can hear their patients, doctor who can see beyond the person who's wearing the gown and in the bed, the doctor who can have compassion and empathy for them. That's our collective why. There are plenty of forces who want us to fit in, and many times it's easier to do so. I'm warning you not to forget our why. So yeah, you have changed the face of medicine today. But if we change the face of medicine and do the same old thing and allow health and healthcare disparities to exist and persist, and violence against the other to exist and persist, then we haven't changed medicine. So I'm asking you, I am imploring you to make certain that we acknowledge that medicine is an art as well as a science. And I'm imploring you to keep the heart and soul of medicine intact. And that you be as kind as you are competent. So, I'm going to go out there. I want you to go out there. I want you to smile about us, even if you don't want to smile about us. Okay? And I want you to go out there and be the leaders, healers, and scholars that we know you can and should be. And you have my sincere congratulations. It has been my honor to be your dean.
We're now going to recognize and give awards to graduates who've earned distinctions or achievements. I'd like to invite Doctors Michael Iannuzzi, Danielle Pritchett, and Edward Telzak to the podium to present the Dean's Academic and Clinical Excellence Awards.
I would first like to recognize those students who achieved high academic distinction coming out of the bachelor's program. With the students who earned the cum laude designation, please stand. Would the students who earned the magna cum laude designation please stand? Would the students who earned the summa cum laude designation please stand? Congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Dean Green, there are 8 candidates who have shown excellence in the academic and clinical mission and have received honors in all core clerkships. These students are wearing a gold cord over their regalia.
As I call your name, please come to the stage. Hadi Aziz. Donna Curiella. Alina McCafferty. EVA Odaise. Pranav Parsi. Tara Ranjabar. Jeremiah Thomas. Michael Zaras. I would now like to call my colleagues, Dr. Lisa Koiko, Dr. Maria Lima, and Dr. Jack Martin to the podium.
Good afternoon. We'll now recognize those students who contribute to the research mission. The students are wearing a white cord over their regalia. Dr. Koiko will call their names.
Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations. Dean Green, 24 candidates have authored a manuscript during their tenure here at CUNY School of Medicine. I ask that these students will please stand up and remain standing as I call your name. Edem Adika. Emmanuel Amoateng Sr. Anika Azam. Hari Aziz. Stephanie Chain. Cameron Chan. Juliet Chen. Jennifer Duran. Anna Fagbemi. Desiree Irving. Katerina Chu. Shivam Khatri. Donna Kiriella. Kende Lawal. Diana Matthew. Eleni McCaffrey. Tariq Pennock. Tara Ranjbar. Noah Rodriguez. Jeremiah Thomas. Tina Thomas. Esther Viner Pierce. Emily Vasquez. And Michael Saras. Will you all please join me in a round of applause?
Would you please be seated? Dean Green, there are 4 students who further distinguish themselves by their significant research contributions and are being awarded with this year's Dean's Award for Research Excellence. Please come to the stage when I call your name. Katerina Ju. Donna Kiriella. Shivam Kumar Khatri. And Jeremiah Thomas. Shivam. And Jeremiah.
I now call my colleagues, Dr. Elizabeth Wilson-Esty and Victor Schwartz, to the podium.
Here at the CUNY School of Medicine, we are extremely proud of our rich heritage. I now recognize our graduates who are first in their families. Let us start with graduates who are the first in their family to earn a college degree. These candidates are wearing an orange cord. Please stand. Next, also in the orange cords, are those who are first in their family to earn an MD. Please stand. Please be seated. Next, I'd like to have stand candidates who immigrated to the United States themselves. They're wearing blue cords. Please stand. Please be seated. Finally, I would like to recognize the graduates who were born here to parents who immigrated from outside the United States, also in blue cords. Please stand. Please be seated. I now have the honor to present the Dean's Service Excellence Award to a student being recognized for his exceptional service to CUNY School of Medicine. Hector Santiago Reyes, please come to the stage.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson-Anstey. I also have the good news and will present the Dean's Service Excellent Award to a student who has taken an active role on CUNY Medicine's Wellness Committee. Daniela Pinzon, please come up to the stage. We need a longer... I now give special recognition to students who've earned the Award of Excellence in the Narrative Medicine track of distinction. These students are wearing a maroon cord over their regalia. Maroon, that's like red, right? I don't know. As I call their name, I ask each student to please stand. Tayyaba Afzal, Kayla Lewis, Neil Mipagala, Noah Rodriguez, and Hector Reyes. Will you join me in a round of applause for these students? Dr. Green, you're on.
Thank you. Congratulations to all of you. The next set of awards, despite all these recognitions, is that we, for the first time in CUNY School of Medicine's history, have created 2 National Medical Honor Societies. They're very prestigious. And that allows us to bestow this honor upon our deserving faculty, alumni, and importantly, upon our students. For these 2 organizations, these are our inaugural inductees. The first honor society is the Gold Humanism Honor Society. It's a community of medical students, physicians, and other leaders who have recognized for their compassionate care, reinforcing the human connection in healthcare. The nomination process begins with students, 3rd-year students, and 4th-year students, we got special disposition, to nominate themselves, nominate other colleagues. The second honor society is the Alpha Omega Alpha Medical Honor Society. This again is a lifelong honor for students, faculty, residents, alumni. It confers recognition for a physician's dedication to professionalism, leadership, scholarship, research, and community service. Recently, the CUNY School of Medicine was named the 137th member of the Alpha Omega Alpha chapter, Medical Honor Society. In fact, we are the Chi chapter of New York, the 14th chapter in New York. And I get to be the counselor. I was also appointed to his board of directors as a member at large. Alpha Omega Alpha has a special place in my heart as I was inducted as a medical student at my alma mater at Michigan State. You notice the green. Go green? Go white? Anybody? Okay. Oh, this is a different crowd. Anyway, so I felt pretty strongly about bringing this distinction to our school. Many of our alumni were not able to be that because of our Sophie Davis program. These organizations have been criticized for their lack of diversity. I think you will see today that that is not going to be our problem. Earlier in May, we held our inaugural induction dinners for all of our first ever honorees. I would like to ask our chapter chairs, chapter advisors, Dr. Lauren Cochran and Dr. Muna Kokar to come down for the Gold Humanism Honor Society to recognize these amazing people.
We would first like to ask the alumni and faculty inductees to the Gold Humanism Honor Society to please stand up. Congratulations. Next, we'd like to recognize the graduates who have recently been inducted into the Gold Humanism Honor Society. These graduates are wearing a green cord over their regalia.
I will now call the names of the graduates. As I do, please stand up to be recognized and remain standing until the last name is called. Sabrina Ario. Katarina Joe. Kayla Lewis. Evie Odaise. Leela Rangachar. And Tara Ranjbar.
Please join us in one more round of applause for these graduates.
We are now thrilled to present the Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Awards. This award is presented by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation to recognize graduating medical students and faculty who are exemplars of humanism in the care of patients. We were pleased to have both Dr. Sandra Gold and Dr. Len Tao at our induction dinner.
Will Dr. Neil Kalman, President and CEO for the Institute for Family Health, please join us at the podium?
And I would like to ask Evie Odaise, MD Class of 2024, to join us here as well. Again, these awards are being given for exemplary compassion, empathy, and respect for patients and for excellence in the art of medicine. I now ask my colleague, Dr. Rosemary Wazorek, to join me at the podium as we recognize our Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society inductees.
We first ask our faculty and alumni who were inducted into Alpha Omega Alpha to please stand to be recognized. Please be seated. We now recognize the first CUNY Medicine student inductees. They are wearing a gold and green cord over their regalia. As I call your name, I would like each graduate to please stand and remain standing until the last name is called. Adam Adika. Hadi Hasnain Aziz. Cameron P. Chan. Dominic Jared Daniram. Katerina Ju. Kyla Lewis. EVA O'Dacy. And Tara Ranjbar. Please be seated. Would you please join us for a round of applause for these students?
Thank you. Now, a few years ago, I created the Dean's Persistence Award, and that's for those students who inspire the Dean. They continue to work hard despite seemingly as unsurmountable obstacles. They make us very, very proud. And today, at some point in time, we're going to call them doctor. Terry Ann Lawrence, please come to the stage. EVA Audacier. Mrs. Prasad, are you out there? I want you to see your son, Justin. So now I get the honor of turning over the podium to the next generation. The student speaker was selected by her fellow classmates to deliver the MD Class of 2024 student address. EVA Dacia.
Good afternoon, faculty, esteemed guests, family, friends, and my fellow graduates of the class of 2024. I am honored to have been chosen as your class speaker at this momentous occasion. We've come together as a community to learn how to care for the world around us by learning how to care for each other, and along the way, to realize we have to care for ourselves. I'm so grateful to be a student at the CUNY School of Medicine and to have received so much support from my faculty and classmates all these years. During the first year of medical school, I experienced the devastating loss of my mother. As the oldest of four, I was no longer just a medical student. I was now a medical student and a motherless child with the responsibility of caring for myself and my siblings. My dreams felt insignificant, and I could not imagine how I could continue without my mother right by my side. There were times when I seriously considered letting go of my dreams. But in these moments when I felt so helpless, I am glad I leaned on others for support and guidance. They picked me up and gave me what I didn't know I needed. With the support from faculty, family, and friends, I'm here today, speaking at my medical school graduation, fulfilling my dreams as an incoming OBGYN in training, and making my mom proud. Thank you. We have all heard the horror stories of intern year and how challenging it can be on our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. On top of this, life continues to move on, and we will continue to experience heartbreak, loss, and hardship. During these times, I hope you lean on those around you. Your CUNY Med family surrounding you, your loved ones sitting behind you, and the new friends and family you'll continue to make along the way. Now I understand why people say medical school bonds you for life. In addition to the trauma bonding, the marathon study sessions at Harris Hall, fueled by caffeine and desperation, sprinting to the lounge for the last crumbs of free food, and competing on the basketball court during sports night, and eagerly awaiting the chance to mock our professors and sing, especially Tara's legendary impersonation of Dr. Cashby in his classic yellow sweater. Then, that infamous day when we all found out we would be sent home because of something called the coronavirus, starting medical school in the midst of a global pandemic, struggling to learn anatomy online, internet crashes and glitches during lectures and exams, Zoom socialization, then finally and very eagerly getting back together for our clinical years. We are forever bound by our Sophie years of community as we became a part of each other's lives. For the first time in over 95% of our lives, we won't be students anymore. Well, graduate students, that is. But being in medicine means we'll forever be students. We'll keep on learning on the job, constantly challenging the ideas we thought we had mastered, whether it's staying updated on the latest research or adapting to new technology. The learning truly never stops. And let's not forget the valuable lessons we'll continue to learn each day from our patients. So while our time as formal students may be ending, our journey as lifelong learners in medicine is just beginning. Today we are students, but tomorrow begins our first full-time job as doctors. And what will that job entail? No biggie. We're merely just going to be responsible for saving the world, for real. Every graduating doctor since Hippocratic and Sushruta has faced a similar challenge, and each graduating class goes forth with its unique sets of assets weighed against its unique set of difficulties. The graduates of the first medical school in the United States, established in 1765 at the College of Philadelphia and now the University of Pennsylvania's Perelman School of Medicine, had to contend with epidemics like diphtheria, scarlet fever, smallpox, using largely symptomatic therapies like purgatives and emetics, and relying on drugs like mercury and opium. They addressed the terrifying rates of maternal and infant mortality with herbs. The graduates of 1945, grateful for the end of World War II, faced the specter of polio with no recognized treatment for viral infections. They relied on iron lungs, hot compresses, and isolation. The class of 1982 faced the scourge of AIDS, focusing on universal precautions, specialized wards, and experimental treatments. Thankfully, in the intervening years of research and development, all these issues have ceased to be the terrors they were. But we are besieged with a whole new set of problems, some that cannot be cured with a vaccine or pharmaceutical protocol. One of those problems is distrust of our ability to make the right decision to solve the problem. When my mother became a nurse, that uniform conferred on her a certain respect, for her knowledge, surely, and for her ability to fix the problem with a pill or Band-Aid. When we were young and we had strep throat or a broken arm or fell out of a tree, we went to the doctor, and at the end of the visit, it was all better. I got a lollipop. We all believed that the doctor has some kind of magical power, and that he, and yes, sadly usually was a he, knew all the answers, made an instantaneous and correct diagnosis to solve the problem and prescribe the best drug/course of action. We had absolute faith. Wasn't House a regular medical Sherlock Holmes neatly solving all those rare and unusual diseases in an hour? Cases and medical procedures that often take weeks or even months of treatment are neatly wrapped up on a Grey's Anatomy overnight. Maybe we were naive, but sometimes I think that naivety may have been helpful. We are charged with real life and death decisions. It's no longer a given that we absolutely know what we're doing. Recent articles and opinion pieces in the New York Times bemoan the widening lack of trust in us by the very patients we need to have it in order to secure them the best care. How can we build that trust back? I think it's by remembering two important facts. One, our patients are more than the problems they present. And two, not only are we doctors, we're also patients. And when we remember how it feels to be on the receiving end, we'll become better practitioners. We are faced with the benefits and detriments of the internet. With the proliferation of information, both accurate and faulty, universally available, patients often second-guess their doctors and undervalue their proffered information. Fallout from COVID-related problems, both real and not, have eroded faith in our profession, and that is a hurdle we will continue to fight in the foreseeable future. It might be crass to talk about money, but we graduate with an almost unimaginable debt as we enter the financial tentative world. That's the bad news, not for the good news. We have at our disposal tools the likes of which were mere science fiction 40 years ago. We have machines that can look into your heart, liver, bones, and analyze and report results without damaging anything. We can transplant a heart the size of a dime into the chest of a fetus. Got a bad knee, hip? We can give you a new one. Lose your eye in a car accident? We can transplant the entire eye. Heart disease is diagnosable and largely treatable. A simple blood test can tell if one of your organs is aging too rapidly. We can eradicate cancerous tumors into, irradiate cancerous tumors into extinction without damaging surrounding tissues or organs. And we seem to be on our way to eliminating obesity. We have mapped the human genome and are learning how to address genetic mutations. Just this month, the United States initiated its first sickle cell gene therapy, giving a 12-year-old boy hope for a future. We have robots performing microsurgery, we have conquered maladies that once decimated our population, and unlike our predecessors, almost any piece of any kind of information is digitally available in seconds. It is not unreasonable to continue to expect breakthroughs to be made with increasing alacrity. At the rate we're going, the common cold is toast. My high school English teacher wrote in my yearbook, "Take your considerable talent and go out and change the world." It is my sincerest honor to be the first to address you as my fellow doctors. Let's go change the world. Thank you.
Are EVA's brothers and sisters in the audience?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, EVA, for that amazing and inspiring speech. Let's give her one more round of applause. We would now like to take this time to present the Class of 2024 Faculty Award to an incredible individual who has provided tireless support to us throughout our 7 years throughout this program, as well, especially in this last year as we're applying for residency and about to start our new jobs. I would like to announce that we would like to present this to Dr. Lily Lamb. She's done so much for us. She's really done a lot for us this past year, and she's been an advisor for many of us as well. So just had to add that.
They surprised you, huh? Okay. Thank you, Dean Green. Will Paloma Izquierdo Hernandez please come up from Urban Health Plan? Please join me. It's my pleasure to recognize the recipient of the Dean's Social Mission Award, Urban Health Plan Incorporated, or commonly known as UHP. UHP is a federally qualified, not-for-profit system of 12 health centers, 1 mental health center, 12 school-based health centers, and 3 part-time clinics serving New York City. That's a lot of centers. Yeah. The organization's mission is to continuously improve the health of communities and the quality of life of the people they serve by providing affordable, comprehensive, quality primary and specialty health care, and by assuring the performance and the advancement of innovative best practices. Founded in 1974 by your father, right? Right. Dr. Richard Izquierdo, a local physician, Urban Health Plan, the same year that Sophie Davis School for Biomedical Education was founded, provides comprehensive and affordable primary and specialty healthcare services to all the communities it serves, including Latino, African American, South Asian, and West African communities, as well as other emerging communities. Today, Urban Health Plan is a nationally acclaimed model of innovation in community health care and disease prevention. We're honored to bestow the Dean Social Mission Award to Dr. Izquierdo's daughter, Paloma, who serves as UHP's president and CEO. The award reads as follows. The Social Mission Award is being given for UHP's effort in developing a strong network of community-based, patient-centered health centers that have provided care to generations of New Yorkers in underserved communities. Please, thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
I think you can say thank you.
Thank you, and good afternoon, and congratulations, Dean Green, faculty, and all of you. Congratulations on this great, great achievement. And thank you for this award. It's my privilege to be here today as part of this wonderful ceremony, and I look at all of you and can't help but feel so proud of you all as new doctors. We need you. On behalf of Urban Health Plan, its board, leadership, and close to 1,000 associates, I proudly and humbly accept the Social Mission Award in recognition of the work that we do each and every day to improve the lives of the people that we serve. In keeping with our mission, we also address the social drivers of health through our nutrition department and community work, our nutrition Community Food and Resource Cupboard program, where we really became a lifeline of food insecurity for our communities, serving hundreds of thousands of pounds of food during the pandemic. We have a workforce development center where we train people and find people jobs. And we have actually a charter school that we developed for the purpose of creating a local pipeline of health professions in our own local community. Additionally, we look for a workforce among ourselves that really exemplifies the cultural humility that is needed to care for under-resourced communities. And so we've developed a nurse practitioner and physician assistant program, and most recently became a teaching health center, and will soon launch a psychiatric residency program in response to the growing need of mental health professionals. My father was a huge proponent and fan and committed to the healthcare of the Bronx and the residents, and so like him, we all recognize the dedication to his work as an opportunity not only to improve people's quality of life, but also to eliminate injustice, build social equity, ensure that everybody has the best health possible. On behalf of Urban Health Plan, again, it's an honor to receive this award. We have been a long-standing partner of the School of Medicine, as well as Sophie Davis Biomedical Education Program, in meeting our shared visions to improve quality through healthcare and education. You are our future, and it is my hope and belief that today the torch will be passed on to you, and you will go on to fulfill our goals of assuring health equity for all. Thank you very much for the award, and congratulations once again to each and every one of you. Thank you.
So, you know, Paloma just had a street named for her. What street is it?
It was a People's Choice Inductee Award, so my name is on Grand Concourse.
Her name is on Grand Concourse. You know, I just want to add a couple more things, Dr. Schwartz, if I may. You know, we've had a long-standing partnership with her school. We've had students from her school. Dr. Elizabeth Lancey is now on the board of directors, and some of these students have gone on to medicine. Let me be clear, the work she's doing is that why that I was talking about, okay? I had a student, I said, you know, he doesn't have health insurance. We had to try and figure it out. He needed to see a dentist emergently. Her people took that child in, well, somebody's child, not the child, to do that. I am deeply, deeply appreciative of you and your work. Now, I get to introduce the keynote speaker, who I've known for many years when I was a guppy. Yeah, I've always admired him. We worked together in the research centers in minority aging research. He in San Francisco, the city by the bay, me in the Great Lakes State, being an investigator. And he was doing amazing work then. And it's because of that amazing work that Dr. Eliseo Perez-Stable became the director of the National Institute for Minority Health and Disparities. He manages the annual budget, which is multiple millions of dollars. The focus of his work is on underserved communities, cross-cultural healthcare, communication, and diversity in the biomedical sciences. I don't know exactly how many diverse investigators you have developed, but I know it's got to be in the hundreds, right? NIMHD is the lead organization at the National Institutes of Health for planning, review, coordinating, and evaluating minority health disparities research activities. Since Dr. Palasio left San Francisco and joined the National Institute for Minority Health and Disparities in September of 2015, he has cultivated the Institute's position on the cutting edge of science of minority health and health disparities, revolutionizing it. Through this effort, the Institute has produced a collection of resources that guide and facilitate the conduct of research to promote health equity. These include the National Institute for Minority Health and Health Disparities Strategic Plan of 2021 to 2025. You better start working on the next one. Okay. The NIMHD Research Framework and Structural Racism and Discrimination Impact on Minority Health and Health Disparities, among many others. Throughout the pandemic, Dr. Perez's positioned NIMHD at the forefront of the research response to the pandemic. For his efforts, in October of 2021, he was awarded the Samuel J. Hyman Service Award Medal and the COVID-19 Response Medal for his extraordinary role in fighting the pandemic, particularly in communities of color and those who are the most underserved and marginalized. Prior to becoming NIMHD director, Dr. Perez Stable worked at the University of California, San Francisco as a professor of medicine. You might see here a link between two people who've taken the stage. Dr. Perez Stable and Dr. Palasio actually trained together at some point in time. He was also the director of the UCSF Medical Effectiveness Research Center and also the Center for Aging and Diverse Communities. He received his BA in chemistry and his MD from the University of Miami. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Perez Stable to the podium.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and especially to the new physicians, your proud families that are here, and the dedicated faculty and staff. We are here to celebrate the glorious moment of your path, and I offer my warm congratulations. I want to especially thank Dean Carmen Renee Green, whom I have known, I think, for about 25 years, and I could not possibly have declined her invitation. I thought about it, but I said, right. CUNY School of Medicine has a great leader. It is an honor to participate in this graduation ceremony and share in this great celebration. So on March 25th, 1965, Dr. Martin Luther King paraphrased a 19th century American philosopher during remarks on the steps of the Alabama state capitol after the Third March to Montgomery. In brief, he said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." Our country faces challenges almost 60 years later that are as daunting and urgent as those in the 1960s. Democratic governance is in decline across the planet, and this includes the United States. Based on data from a UK-based research group, the United States is now considered a flawed democracy. Threats to our foundational democracy through voter suppression, gerrymandering, and authoritarian tendencies have intensified over the past 2 decades. Political polarization is rampant, and rational dialogue about challenging issues is becoming rare. Racism continues to thrive even after the response to George Floyd's murder. The appeal to nativism is driving the humanization of segments of the population, and this facilitates violence. Furthermore, over the past 45 years, we have witnessed a progressive increase in income inequality in this country, with the top 1% of individual earners receiving about 20% of income in the United States. In healthcare, the corrupting influences of status, power, and money have become dominant over our role as healers and patient advocates. Healthcare has increasingly become a commercial enterprise. All these trends are impacting the health of our patients, generating increasing mistrust of clinicians and leading to more health disparities. So we have a challenge. On September 1, 2015, I became director of the National Institute on Minority Health and Health Disparities, or we call NIMHD. After spending 32 years as a member of the faculty at UCSF, there I was a real doctor, a teacher, a scientist, and an administrator. My overall mission has not changed, but my perspective and location have. I gave up direct patient care, but still teach. I continue to do science, and I am the main voice, the lead voice of NIH on health disparities. Most importantly, my role at NIH and in the federal government comes with impact, and that's something for all of you to consider in the future. In the nearly 9 years I have been at NIH, we have established the importance of NIMHD-related science. That is the currency at NIH. We have promoted meaningful, inclusive participation in clinical studies. We support minority-serving institutions, such as this one, and have been relentless about promoting diversity in the workforce. The current state of diversity in the medical profession leaves much to be desired. In 2022, 14% of US medical graduates self-identified as being African American or Black, Latino or Hispanic, American Indian or Alaska Native, or Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islanders. These are the groups that are underrepresented in medicine and in STEM-related science. Progress has been painfully slow, and the barriers have continued to become more intense. The educational pathway lacks consistent excellence, opportunity across the public-private divide, with elitism displacing equity. Students from underrepresented groups graduate from medical school with an average debt of more than $200,000. And despite this barrier, they are more committed to working with underserved patients than their counterparts. These and other factors have contributed to the failure of broadening diversity in medicine and science. Sadly, these challenges are only expected to grow unless we act with urgency. The demographic reality of the United States population highlights this point. Minoritized populations made up nearly 40% of the US population in 2020, and by the time most of you are at the peak of your careers, we will be the majority. In fact, today, over 50% of children born in this country are from a minority group. And we all know that children do kind of tend to grow up. The data that diversity in the workforce leads to better product, the work setting, more creativity, better science, and a more satisfied workforce is already available, not to mention the need to address social justice. Personally, my struggles as an underrepresented minority person have been modest. I'm an immigrant arriving to the United States at the age of 8. I came from Cuba, where our family lived a middle-class lifestyle. I learned English in the 4th grade while attending a parochial school in Pittsburgh, and recovered my Spanish in college by reading literature. My own path brought me back to some of my roots. I started out as a history major in college and had great social concerns as a child of the 1960s, so to speak, growing up in the US. In California, I was no longer just Cuban, I was now Latino, felt a bond to a broader community. I wanted to study Latino health and did so through community-engaged interventions in collaboration with behavioral and social scientists and clinician investigators rooted in epidemiological research methods. At the same time, a funny thing happened to clinical medicine in the 1980s. We rediscovered a connection to public health. This may have been a consequence of the emerging HIV epidemic, coinciding with technological advances in computing, pharmaceuticals, and diagnostic technology. Sound familiar? The times of COVID brought me full circle, and there are many similarities. The glaring disparities unveiled by the pandemic shocked us all, maybe did not surprise us all, and have focused science on what can we do to promote health equity. 2020 was a nonstop crisis. There was fear and urgency to act and need to be calm as we faced the unknown. The COVID crisis was a catalyst for the creation of the Community Engagement Alliance, we call SEAL, to address misinformation, promote trust in science, and engage communities of color in study participation and vaccine uptake. These remarkable changes have opened the door to great opportunity for our society to make people's lives better during the great crisis we just lived through. The challenges presented by the pandemic may appear modest, though, when compared to what we face from racism and discrimination embedded in societal structures and linked inherently to power differentials. Structural racism and discrimination form part of social, institutional, organizational, and governmental structures, processes, procedures, and practices that limit opportunities and resources to segments of the population based on identity and social class. This construct is supported by history, culture, and institutions, and is codified in policies that perpetuate inequity by promoting an ideology of inferiority. Slavery was abolished in the U.S. by the 13th Amendment in 1865. However, American society organized a system that categorized and assigned value to groups of people based on race. The Jim Crow laws in the South was the most blatant example of institutional racism. But the more elusive and effective practice of redlining led to systematic residential segregation in most large cities in the U.S. This marginalization of Black and Latino communities in America's cities and rural areas led to the substantial wealth gap that exists today. For every dollar white Americans have, Black Americans have 10 cents, and Latinos have 12 cents. American families grow equity through property value, and whole segments of our populations were shut out because of redlining. Segregation led to poor access to quality education, limited economic opportunities, and increased challenges to public safety, among other outcomes. The foundation of structural racism that has contributed to health disparities by race and socioeconomic status has not been addressed. Now, you may question what all of these issues I've been talking about have to do with health and health outcomes. So where is the biology? Where's the behavior, the medications? What is the diagnosis? I can say that as a major funder of research and as an entity that influences policy and public health practices through scientific discovery, the National Institutes of Health, not just NIMHD, has a unique and important responsibility to identify and address structural racism and work to end inequities in healthcare and in the biomedical research enterprise. We as physicians need to develop an equity response to these societal challenges because they endanger our patients' health and create increasingly intolerable working conditions for clinicians. We need to lead with science, understand the data, and inform policymakers and service providers the perspective of how science can address health inequities. We need to be willing to work with the most daunting health problems, partner with those communities, and generate proposals for solutions. At the end of June, the National Academy of Medicine will release a report that NIMHD commissioned on unequal treatment revisited. So I encourage you to stay tuned. Second, we must address these issues as part of medical education, continue to promote diversity in the profession, and incorporate anti-racism in the curriculum. Finally, we must expand our charge with patients to address social needs and remember to stay patient-centered. I want to share a few reflections of what my most important lessons from clinical medicine have been that I hope will be applicable to whatever career path in medicine you pursue, and my optimism that the moral arc of the universe does bend towards justice, in part because of people like you. First, let's remember that humanism is central to the practice of medicine. We work with people, not technology. Regardless of what our specialty, our goal is to decrease human suffering, The hardest skill that you will master in your career is that of effective communication. Second, medicine is a profession of service, and social justice is a central theme. Some of the golden moments of the medical profession have come at the time of the most profound crisis and the care of the most distraught. These are also the times that we may see the most undesirable underbelly of the profession. I'm referring to Katrina in 2005 in New Orleans, the AIDS epidemic in 1985, homeless families, the chronically mentally ill, dying patients everywhere all the time, and yes, the million US lives lost to COVID-19 when many could have been averted. Third is leadership. You must be collaborative leaders and learn to be effective in working with teams. You will manage a work project, a panel of patients, work in a hospital unit, be responsible for research, monitor outcomes in a defined population. Inevitably, this is a responsibility of the profession, no matter how big or small the task. We have trained you for leadership. Look for constructive solutions. Be a problem solver and not just an identifier. Do not avoid conflict, help address it. Fourth, help pull other people up. Be a mentor, be generous, give back. You did not get here alone. Mentors need to be generous with your knowledge, inside information, and advice. Make up for the lack of quantity with high quality. And finally, be an advocate for your patients' well-being. Advocate on the principles of social justice and public health. This may take you to activities that some will question as legitimate part of our professional expectations. However, we have a critical voice to influence the health of society, and we must refuse to be silenced on these issues. I want to finish by returning to Dr. Martin Luther King, who is one of America's icons, assassinated in another tumultuous year of our history in 1968, a 20th century martyr at age 39. Society has placed Dr. King in a pantheon of heroes, always on the high ground, teaching Americans about tolerance and equality, and reminding us of, I have a dream. But let's remember that Dr. Martin Luther King spoke out vigorously against violence and militarism and became an outspoken critic of the Vietnam War and economic inequality in the last 2 years of his life. Indeed, he was the target of illegal surveillance because he represented a threat to the established government order of the time. Dr. King had also become alienated from a significant sector of Black Americans, as Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, and others advocated for more confrontational strategies at the time. Let's pretend for a moment that what it would be like for Dr. King had lived, and what would he stand for? Now would be 93 years of age. I do believe that Dr. King would have continued to struggle for just causes, for the oppressed and those most in need. I would see Dr. King fighting for immigrant rights, preaching nonviolence on all fronts, continuing to speak out against racism and discrimination in all its forms, to defend the disadvantaged regardless of color, creed, appearance, or sexual preference, opposing unjust wars, leading efforts for environmental justice, and promoting access to high-quality, affordable health care for all. The moral arc of history can be bent towards justice, even if it seems to take us a lifetime. Thank you very much for your attention, and congratulations again.
So, I'm a little stunned because I'm not certain that we've heard a talk so important at a commencement address, and that's so interwoven with what we try to be. You know, we got a little history. And let me be clear, you're much older than me. Let's make it very clear. And then we brought it back to what is real, things that you're living with right here and right now. And so, you know, I'll say I love this talk. And what I also love is the work and your continued commitment to the other. to serving the underserved, hearing the voices, those who carry an unequal burden. And for those reasons and more, we are giving you our highest award. And it's entitled the CUNY School of Medicine H. Jack Geiger Icon Award. For those of you who don't know who Jack Geiger was, he was one of the founders of our Community Health and Social Medicine Department and was the person who created the concept of the social determinants of health. It was done here at CUNY School of Medicine, Sophie Davis program. His picture is as you walk past every single day, and also was Nobel laureate. So for your commitment to advancing health equity research, cross-cultural healthcare, communication, and diversity in biomedical education, on this day, May 23rd, 2024, we present to Eliseo Perez Stable the Jack Geiger Community Icon Award.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Carmen.
Oh, we got to get a picture. Yeah. So we're now moving on to the hooding ceremony. And this is a special rite, special recognition ceremony for the doctoral degree candidates. It represents a rite of passage to the next generation, in this case, to doctors. Candidates will place their hoods over their left arm and present themselves to their MD faculty, and in some cases, a Sophie Davis or CUNY Med alum. That alum who has been asked to hood somebody will find their graduate and walk up with them, or come down. You guys are getting used to being in the rarefied era of the platform committee, okay? They will place the doctoral hood over the head of the graduate to signify that they have successfully completed the graduate program. And I think that there's no better day than on Monday when I got to certify every single one of these people that will walk across the stage. So the asterisk at the bottom of the page does not apply to these people. They will be getting the MD degree. May I ask Dr. Medea Akhtar, Lisa Auerbach, and Danielle Pritchett to call the names of the graduates as they present for hooding. I'll move. You guys can go over there. I'm going to ask Dr. Travis David to come to the stage and assist me with handing out the diploma folders. Looking at our Chief Marshal, Dr. Danny Macbeth. Are the MD candidates ready to be presented to the faculty for hooding? Okay. And we also have a chief hooder who is not allowed to hug any of the students. Yeah. Dr. Sandy St. Tong will stand over here. So, welcome home, Sandy. Welcome home. And those faculty who are MDs who want to participate in the hooding can come over here. Clinical faculty. And let's get started. Danny?
Is this on?
Shake hands? Oh, right here, okay.
Adem Adika.
John Afif.
Taiba Afzal.
Emmanuel Senior Hamilton.
Sabrina Ariet.
Michael Avaricio.
Hari Hasnan Aziz.
Michael Barsoom.
Jada Bido.
Jackie Bustos.
Stephanie Chain.
Cameron Chan.
Juliet Chen.
Hannah Contreras.
Vincent Cortez.
Dominic Danaram.
Jennifer Duran.
Anna Fagbemi.
Edgy Gurnier.
Farhan Haq.
Taisha Desiree Irving.
Leslie Ann Jerez Gaviria.
The next name I'm going to call has actually started her journey already as a practicing physician, Sarah Johnson Cope.
Katarina Joe.
Shivam Khatri.
Donna Kiriella.
Surfi Laguerre.
Kande Lawal.
Terry Ann Lawrence.
Kayla Lewis.
Austin Mangila.
Diana Matthew.
Eleni McCaffrey.
Neil Mipaga.
EVA Odaise.
Claude Parola.
Pranav Parsi.
Kush Patel.
Justin Purcell.
Enoch.
Daniela Pinzon.
Mamita Rahman.
Akshara Ramakrishnan. Leela Rangachar.
Tara Ranjabar.
Saud Rahman.
Hector Reyes.
Gabrielle Rosa Acosta. Jeremiah Thomas. Did they hear that? Seems like it wasn't loud.
Tina Thomas.
Emily Vasquez.
Esther Wiener.
Barbara Williams.
And Michael Zeros.
Oh. Trustee. Can you bring my? You're fired. Okay. By the power invested in me by the New York State Department of Education,
The CUNY Board of Trustees,
City College of New York, and the CUNY School of Medicine, I confer the degree of medical doctor to the CUNY School of Medicine, MD class of 2024, the graduating class of student doctor. So, student doctors. Oh, I'm sorry. You said doctors? Did you check in that folder to see if your diploma was there? Doctors, I'd like for you to please stand up and salute your family. Okay. I'm now delighted to welcome Dr. Maria Freimer to the stage, to a class graduating Sophie Davis alum class of 2025, and our esteemed Alumni Association president to the podium to welcome you to the profession and our beautiful alumni family.
Thank you, Dean Green. Congratulations, graduates, and congratulations to all the families. As president of the Sophie Davis CUNY Medical School Alumni Association, I am honored to welcome you to the ranks of over 2,500 alumni who commit their ideas, resources, and talents to support and develop meaningful relationships with fellow alumni and current students. Today, you are called a doctor, a healer, and a physician. You have persevered in the face of uncertainty and hardships and lean on each other for friendship and advice. You have developed compassion and empathy for others, two of the most important traits when joining the medical profession. Today, you have earned the privilege of taking care of patients and their families, and tomorrow you will become the center of a patient's care team, their universe, their family, and the base of their decision-making. Based on your experiences these past several years, you are well prepared. As the Alumni Association, we encourage you to take advantage of working together to offer mentorship opportunities to current students and attend the alumni events. We challenge you to stay involved, to build a vibrant network of CUNY Med graduates, and continue to inspire engagement in the life of your medical school. The advice and support you can provide to your fellow students will pave the road to future success. As alumni, your ability to contribute to others' success in your medical school is unmeasurable. I encourage you all to stay involved, reach out to us, and stay in touch. Always be a proud CUNY School of Medicine alum. I am joined today by other members of the Alumni Association, including our past president, Dr. Sujana Chandrasekhar. They join me today, along with your other alumni, to encourage you to reach out to us, to always stay in touch, and know that we are always here to help. Best of luck, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
So, Dr. Fern, Dr. Palasio, Dr. Perez-Stable, Dr. Telzak, Dr. Sandy St. Tom. We're now at that, first of all, I want to thank Dr. Freimer. She's just been a terrific president, as well as Sujana, but her generosity towards this class and other classes. We're now at that most hallowed moment of the commencement where these wonderful people and Dr. Coleman are going to administer the oath, the Hippocratic oath to our newest graduates. Dr. Telzak.
Thank you, Dean Green. There are 10 elements to the oath that you're about to recite, and I may interpret the oath as the 10 commandments of being a physician. So thank you, Dean, for this honor. The Hippocratic Oath dates back to antiquity. It is taken by physicians and guides their ethics and their behavior. I ask all graduates to take the modern Hippocratic Oath by repeating after me. All other physicians, I invite you to stand to renew your oath. So to begin, I swear to fulfill to the best of my ability and judgment the covenant as follows. I'll read and then you can repeat. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those practitioners in whose steps I walk, and gladly share such knowledge as is mine with those who are to follow.
I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those practitioners as I walk, that gladly share such knowledge and those who are to follow.
I will apply for the benefit of the sick all measures which are required.
I will apply for the benefit of the sick all measures which are required.
I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science.
I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science.
I will not be ashamed to say, I know not.
I will not be ashamed to say I know not.
I will respect the privacy of my patients, for their problems are not disclosed to me that the world may know.
I will respect the privacy of my patients, for their problems are not disclosed to me that the world may know.
I will not permit consideration of gender, race, religion, political affiliation, sexual orientation, nationality, or social standing to influence my duty of care.
I will not permit considerations of gender, race, religion, political affiliation, sexual orientation, nationality, or social standing to influence my duty of care.
I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart, a cancerous growth, but a sick human being whose illness may affect their entire family.
I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart, a cancerous growth, but a sick human being whose illness may
I will prevent disease whenever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure.
I will prevent disease whenever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure.
I will remember that I remain a member of society with special obligations to all my fellow human beings, those sound of mind and body, as well as the infirm.
I will remember that I remain a member of society with special obligations to all my fellow beings, those sound of mind and body, as well as the infirm.
If I follow this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected while I live, and remembered with affection hereafter. May I always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help.
If I follow this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected while I live, and remembered with affection hereafter. May I always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help.
Congratulations, MD class of 20.
Thank you all. As we move towards closure, we must thank, and I always forget to thank somebody, so I'll thank you in advance as a global thank you. Must thank the Commencement Planning Committee. And this year, we had to pivot pretty quickly. We didn't have a place, no place to call home. As of Monday afternoon, and we pivoted. A lot of people worked very long nights because you guys are worth it, and we felt really strongly about that. I want to thank our communications and our development team, our many, many alumni who've come home. We hope you come home often. Student Affairs, Adia, you're terrific. Our wellness staff. This is truly a team effort. I'd also like to think of a couple people that you may not know. First is Ms. Karen Witherspoon, who, when I called her on Friday, I said, we may not have a place to go. She put down things and helped me work through places to go all weekend long. So we thank her for all of her support on behalf of the City University of New York School of Medicine. When we were homeless, unhoused, that's a bit of a joke. Your dean is funny, don't forget it. There's a woman by the name of Lauren Pearlstone. Lauren, are you here? She made it happen so that we could, on Monday afternoon, Tuesday, have this place. We actually visited on Tuesday. So, and made it such a beautiful, welcoming spirit. We thank you, and her credible team for allowing us to have this ceremony here at Riverside Church. We wanted to make certain that we were enabled our families to fully participate. We didn't want to cut down the number of tickets for issues to make certain everybody's safe. And it showed up. I mean, I think I don't know how many people we have here, but I know on this ground floor it's like 1,500. We've got a lot of people here. So we say congratulations and thank you. And I would say to our beautiful graduates that as you leave, and you see one of our tremendous faculty or staff that you also thank you. There are people who are behind the scenes who passed out t-shirts. We've got students who came in, their classes are over to help. I say thank you. And I also want to thank, actually say happy birthday to my friend and yours, Dr. Leonard Tao. Can we just give him a round of applause for his 96th birthday? If we have a godfather, that's him. Now, as you know, we cannot end this ceremony without acknowledging and honoring with respect the Lenape people, the indigenous people on whose ancestral lands the City University of New York School of Medicine stands. We honor and acknowledge the Black, indigenous, people of color, enslaved and free, who labor to make this place what we call home. We affirm the aspiration of the great Lenape chief Tamanand, that there be harmony between the indigenous people of this land and the descendants of the immigrants to this land. As long as the rivers and creeks flow and the sun, moon, and stars shine. Good people, our beloved community of students, this convocation has come to an end. That's the good news. The question becomes, how are we getting home? Anybody know how we are getting home? So we're going to take the A train on home. You ready for me? Hit it.
Must take the A train to go to Sugar Hill way up in Harlem. If you miss the A train, you'll find you missed the quickest way to Harlem. Hurry, get on board, it's coming. Listen to those rails a-thrumming. All aboard, get on the A train. Soon you will be in Sugar Hill in Harlem. to Sugar Hill in Harlem. If you miss the A train, you'll find you missed the quickest way to Harlem. Hurry, get on board, it's coming. Listen to those rails a-thrumming. Go on board, get on the A train. Soon you'll be in Sugar Hill in Harlem. Sugar Hill in Harlem.